Hey everyone, Mike here today with some thoughts here on Need for Speed Rivals. Yes, this is the older 2013 game, but the point of this video here is I've played all of the Need for Speeds all the way up to the 2012 release of Most Wanted, and by then I'd already fallen off the series. But since EA's, I forget what it's called again, but their game subscription program has been added to Game Pass for a while now, but it got recently added to PC Game Pass as well, or finally, I suppose. This was supposed to happen sometime in 2020, but here we are, end of March. They finally added it to PC Game Pass, so I figured, hey, why not take a look at all of the newer Need for Speed games that I've not played yet. Starting with Rivals here, which is the 2013 Need for Speed. Let's go ahead. So I've been kind of playing with all the cars kind of in order. Some of these cars are free and I already own them, and some of the other ones I've been unlocking I have to buy with speed points you get from doing events and stuff. So let's go ahead and buy this movie-based. Oh yeah, because I think they did make a Need for Speed movie. A couple personalization options if you're into that. Though the stripes aren't changing colors, so that's kind of a weird one. Is it because? Okay, it's got a pre-applied stripe package, presumably. Anyways, so customization. There's not a ton of stuff available, right? There's a couple different liveries that you can put in for cars. The liveries are kind of unique per car. The stripes and decals are universal. The wheel colors are pretty much the same across the board as well. And the paint options, they're pretty similar, but they tend to kind of follow the factory stuff. So as far as customization goes, there's not a whole lot you can choose from. There are performance upgrades you can just slap on that are like all-in-one things, and there is pursuit tech, so there are different things you can put on to help you out when you're being chased by the cops, or if you're playing as a police, you have tech to help take down people as well. So what do I have?
I need to break my own limits.
I think that's the one I currently have equipped on.
Limits.
Oh yeah, you can see it on the right. So I need to wreck a cop in gold. Actually, that's not particularly easy. Let's see. Are they all the same?
The competition is rising.
Turns out they're all the same, so it doesn't really matter. So this is the sort of career, I suppose. Okay, I can see kind of how it goes. So there are different trees and branches, I suppose we can do. I could probably do all of these. But yeah, I don't know. I found this game has a lot of really baffling decisions done to it, so I question if it's actually a good game or not, because it's being kind of enjoyable, but it's not being great. Like there's a lot of really weird things, like I said. So let's go ahead and start this event. So I need to get gold, which means I gotta get away from him in that 2-minute timer. So one of the things you'll probably notice is the frame rate's kind of not great. Well, not great. It's a locked 30 frames. And yes, I'm playing on PC. No, there are no options to unlock the frame rate. The game is designed to be ran at a locked 30 frames a second. I'd like to do that. Wreck a cop, but 2 minutes is also not a whole lot of time to get away. Anyways, back on the that 30 frames a second discussion there. Yeah, baffling decision, really. Games like these will massively benefit from playing at 60. I get for consoles at the time, I believe this was only a PS4 and Xbox One game. I don't believe it was a PS3, 360. Honestly, I'd have to look it up. I feel like this might be one of those weird ones which were kind of between the two. Anyways, the point is, I get for the level of fidelity and the graphics they're going for, they may want to. I have to wreck this guy. I can kind of understand why they want to hit that 30 frame a second mark, because you can get this nicer looking game by also bringing the frame rate, locking the frame rate down. You can also get even more performance by designing the entire game around that. You don't have to measure frame rate and maintain and figure out whatever performance level you have, and design things to accommodate variable frame rate or anything like that. Like this game's going to be 30. You can design the physics around 30. You can design every single aspect of the game around that 30 frames. So you can definitely extract a little bit more performance because of that, but at the same time, man, it freaking sucks playing this at 30 on PC. And I got wrecked. I don't have a particularly good card to take out cops. It's not a... I'd have to look if there's stronger cars, or I could also use different tech, I suppose, which I didn't equip. But yeah, let's do the police side. I've not actually done any, but there's really not a whole lot of variety. It's just like, hey, do these events, do these things, whatever. Yeah, in terms of other like crazy decisions they've done, the 30 frames a second, that's just wild. Especially these days when you look at, hey, we have like pro consoles, or even the Series S and Series X, we have two different performance level consoles. Like that stuff should be, we should be done with hard coding frame rates. That should be a thing of the past now. Games should really be flexible. It takes a little bit more effort, I suppose, but anywho, so this is typically what you get in terms of options when you go and do kind of a chapter or an event. So in this case here, bronze any rapid response, use your repair shop, 5,000 speed points, that's not too hard. This is any event, and then this one is an interceptor, so we'll take this one because any event doesn't really matter. So like the like the normal that's where it doesn't preview them. Anyways, like the racer side, you have different cars. It's a little bit weird that there's actual... Okay, there's slightly different stats. So these look like liveries, but there's actually different stats. That's kind of neat. Most of these are all the same cars I've had access to. Yeah. For the majority of them are all the same. So let's go ahead and choose something I've not used. McLaren SLR, the GTR here, everyone loves the GTR. I want more of a speed one. Okay, in terms of pursuit tech, you have pretty much the same options here. Well, similar options, I suppose. So I can put in different equipment. There's 2 different slots if you want to do that. So, sure, let's put a roadblock and a ram. And you can also do the same thing with the license plate if you're into that. But there you go. I guess we can immediately hop to an event, get that going. So other really bizarre decisions. The always online aspect is not terrible, but it seems to be peer-to-peer hosted, and so it happens somewhat regularly where I'll be in a, you know, I'll be in a specific lobby, and then it's just like, hey, you'll play for 5-10 minutes or whatever, and it's like, oh, lost connection, and then you migrate to another host, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the migration to happen, play for another 10-15 minutes, oh, migrating to another host, or, you know, internet just kind of craps up for a second, and then the game panics, and like, it's not a nice transition. It's, you know, I could be in the middle of doing something, and then it's literally, oh, game stops and pauses, and then it has to reload where it used to be, and so it's very intrusive, very intrusive in how they do it. So, you know, again, the idea of always online is not too bad, but not being able to smoothly handle the transition in and out is kind of ridiculous. You know, shouldn't be interrupting me if I'm in the middle of an event or whatever. It's no fun. It's really bad design. Yeah, and to make matters worse, I've had problems even on the Xbox One where it couldn't find a session, and then the game would just crash. It would crash back to the dashboard, which just blows my mind. That's the thing. Well, may as well run after that guy and just kind of show you guys a little bit what that looks like, being on the other end of the pursuit. Oh, he hit me with a shotgun, okay. See if I know what I actually don't know what the buttons are for the items because I don't tend to use them. Oh, I hit him. Whoops. Other than that, I feel like there's one more thing. I forget what it was. Oh, well, yeah, the beginning of the game was not very fun. The half hour long, it's like a 10-15 minute tutorial for each side. So you do yeah, so you do a bit of a tutorial on like the my goodness, I'm just like losing my mind here. Yeah, as a racer, you know, you learn how to basically do the events that I'm doing right now. You learn how to do that. and then they put you on the same kind of tutorial for police, which I don't know, it just seems so poorly done, because it's this unskippable like video introduction and they hold your hand through everything, and it's just like, why don't you just start the game and explain it in game? Or, you know, I don't get why it has to be this weird build up at the very beginning of it's really long, and it's like you can't skip anything. I just want to get into the game. I know how this game works, and they don't let you do that. You really need to get your hand held all the way through. Here's how to use your D-pad to open stuff. Here's this kind of event. This is what you have to do. And it's just, ugh. It's so tedious. You know, instead of doing it, they show you videos of it happening, and it's, I don't know, you could have done it in game.
Show them who owns
They do kind of some of it in game as well. It's just whatever. It's the very beginning of the game, right? So you can't complain too much.
Start the show them who owns the roads.
Yeah, it controls fine. It's a fun arcadey style game, but the 30 frames a second really doesn't look good. It's just, and it doesn't feel great. You can feel the game has to really help you get through some of the corners and stuff. Like the assisting is very obvious. It's not great. Might as well throw in. Okay, so because this is a new car, I actually have to buy some of these things. Whatever, may as well buy it. So the speed points are based off of, are separate, so the racer has his own pool of speed points and the cop has its own. But yeah, other than that, I don't know, the always online stuff, hey, if you're into that, whatever. I don't think the online stuff is that great. I'm in my own session now, so I've not been kicked out every 5, 10, 15 minutes, which is kind of the timing interval it would normally happen in. So that's nice. You know, I'm not being kicked out constantly of a scenario, but yeah, I guess it's kind of where I'm sitting at the end of the day. There's some really weird, baffling decisions they went with, and the game is still pretty enjoyable, right? Like, you can see this jump path. This is a long jump that I did before. It's kind of neat that a lot of like that jump, I'll be maybe #1 in this event. Like, there's kind of a mini leaderboard in your online session. So like there are things like that seem kind of neat, that open up potential of like just people having fun playing around and whatnot. But at the same time, with how heavy-handed they handled the multiplayer side, right? Like and it's not many players. I think the most I've seen was me plus like 4 other people or something. So it's not like there's a lot of people online at the same time. If this was some sort of server deal, and you can have, you know, 20, 40 plus battle royale style maybe. You have multiplayer games that can handle a lot of players. They can maybe do much more interesting things. So yeah, I'm busting. the heck happened? This is a different person now. Weird. Anyways, that's Need for Speed Rivals. It's interesting. Like, it plays okay. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the newer ones are, because from what I understand, this was the better one, and yeah, the ones that came after this. Well, I'll put it this way: Most Wanted, which was a 2012 game, that was kind of the higher, recent high point, and then from there, it starts kind of going downhill. From what I remember looking at the reviews, so we'll see. Because I'll be downloading the rest of the games, I'll try them all out, and we'll see how they all compare. Let's see if I can get. Oh, I lost my UMP because I'm not close enough anymore. Right? Fun times. Anyways, we'll end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.